Okay, now the story for Body Count is, if I can explain it in the most simplest way I can, this is how I would explain it. You are a dude that gets recruited by this big organization thing that wants you to go and beat up other dudes by blowing them up. That's the story of Body Count. You just go around killing things, blowing it up because this big organization called the Network wants you to. So that's the story. You don't really get much else here. Oh, later on you have to fight these mysterious figures who they don't know what they are or whatever. You have to go kill them too. So I guess, you have to kill them too. So it brings something different. No, it doesn't. It's just a lame freaking story. It really is. That's the story of Body Count. I tuned out half the time because it's so boring. Anyway, yeah, there's the story of Body Count. Not very good. Let's go on to the sound. Alright, now the sound in Body Count is actually not that bad at all, to be honest. The sound design itself is actually pretty decent, for the most part at least. There's some times where it glitches out, and some sounds don't sound all that great, to be honest. But for the most part, the sound design is good. The voice acting, there's not really much voice acting, but what voice acting there is, it's not bad, it's not horrible, it's kind of cheesy in a way, some one-liners are thrown here and there, but for the most part, the voice acting, what there is of, there's like just 2 or 3 voice actors, it's not bad, it isn't. Now let's go on to the soundtrack. Soundtrack is, somewhat futuristic kind of soundtrack, we've heard this kind of soundtrack before, we just recently did in Deus Ex. I will say it's okay, it's average soundtrack, not great, not memorable, but for the most part, sound is definitely better than the story. It's decent, I would say. So yeah, sound is okay. Let's go on to the graphics. Alright, now the graphics for Body Count. Oh, wow. The graphics in Body Count are not horrible. They are definitely not, but they are outdated as hell. And for a game that is actually kind of major, I mean, not a huge, big game, but a game that's been talked about for a little while, it's unnecessary for these graphics to look this dated. It really does. It looks like a game that came out in maybe 2005, 2006. It looks like Call of Duty 2's graphics for the 360, which is not very good because that game came out in 2005. I will say this though, there is some good in it, alright? The destruction. The destruction is actually really cool. I love how just pieces of buildings fall off when you shoot it. It looks good for the most part. But the thing is, Red Faction does it much better. So, it's not like it's inventive. It's just cool looking. All right, that's about it. It's not like it's new. Black did it too, but Red Faction did it before Black also, which this is of course a spiritual successor to. I'll just say it right here. The environments are very bland. The texturing is terrible. Everything is uninspired, including how the enemies look. The enemies are just stupid and bland. Some of them look like they came from games like Brink and any other sci-fi shooter that you've ever encountered. It's just not very good. It really isn't. The graphics are not very good. They're not horrible, but they're not good either. So, yeah, take that for what it is. Let's go on to the gameplay. Alright, now the gameplay for Body Count. The gameplay in this game is exactly how it sounds. It is just you going through a mission, getting told what to do by someone, and you just go around with guns killing people. That's really the gameplay around Body Count. Now the thing about this is they add a little skill shot thing, just like Bulletstorm that came out earlier this year, where if you kill people in different ways, like if you kill them with headshots, or kill them with explosives in the environments, or kill them with debris or something like that in the environment, then you will get more points added to your high score, and at the end of the mission, you'll get an overall grade, which I guess makes you feel all good inside. I don't know. It really didn't seem all that well implemented into the game. The skill shots just were boring. I was just doing stuff, and I was still getting skill shots. I didn't know how. Unlike Bulletstorm, this game definitely did not do a good job with the skill shots. I will say this, though. The gunplay is not terrible in the game, but I also will say this. The gameplay is very frustrating, definitely in the single player, because the game wants you to go around killing things, mercifully killing things for no reason. Well, there is a reason, but whatever. Just killing things, getting points and stuff. The thing is, there's a lot of points where there's a whole bunch of enemies and they're shooting at you left and right, and the radar does not help. The little map that tells you where everybody is does not help because it's very, very vague. It's a really, really annoying to read to, and just enemies killing you left and right, and you're taking cover, and your cover is deteriorating because the destructible environments are annoying, and just stuff is going on. It's so frustrating, and the enemies kill you because you have very, very low health too, and it just does not make you feel like a badass when you're running through this. Sometimes it does make you feel like a badass because there's sometimes where they just throw like a few enemies inside a room, like 4 or 5, besides like 10 in a huge environment, and you know where they are because they're right in front of you, and you can just kill them with a whole bunch of different variety of weapons, and that's really fun. The thing is, there is too many missions like that where it's just oh, big environment, a whole bunch of enemies, kill them all before they kill you. I'm like, no, son, I don't like that. It's not fun. So that really brought the game down for me. Those little parts here and there were very fun, but not worth me saying this game is definitely worth a buy. I would say maybe at 30, maybe $20. But for the most part right now, it is a rental. The multiplayer is also almost completely dead already. Which is not surprising because the game came out of nowhere anyway, and the multiplayer is not that great. I got into one or two games, and it's not that great anyway. So there you go. There's my review of Body Count. It's not a great game. It's an okay rental, but for the most part, it's a disappointing game because I was kind of looking forward to it, and it let me down. So yeah, there's my review for Body Count. Thank you and goodbye.